Okay guys, in this video I will show you how to create custom VM images in Azure for Windows Virtual Desktops. Custom images are very important because in previous video I've showed or I've demonstrated that you can create VM image based on a gallery based image of um, based on gallery like Windows 10 multi-session with Office 365 apps. But Office 365 apps are not the only apps that's required, right? Your organization users will require some business applications, some utilities, some other softwares that they need in order to perform their jobs. And that's why custom VM images are very useful. You can install your uh, Office, your business related applications that could be a database client or application front end or a customized browser, or it could be some, you know, mainstream application like Adobe Acrobat or whatever. So in this video, as I said, I will create a custom VM image and I will provision session host for WVD based on that custom image. All right. So for that purpose, I have created one VM here just to save time called VM01, and currently it's stopped. Keep this in mind, it's not a managed disk. I have keep these disks in a special account or a storage account in a blob storage, and currently it's stopped. And I have installed some applications on that. The only main difference, I have done that to save some time so that video don't get too lengthy. The only important point here that I did not choose manage disks, and instead I decided to store, as you can see, I decided to store the hard drive of this of this VM in storage account. Let me just show you real quick. This is the recent storage account, and if I go to containers, VHDs, and this is the virtual machine hard drive or hard disk I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. So let me just power on this VM and let's see what happens. And I'll show you a quick glance of application that I have installed in this VM, right? Okay, the VM is powered on and I'm logging it to this VM using a local account. Keep this in mind, I haven't added this into my Active Directory domain services. So it's just a VM in a work group, and it has some extra applications installed. Just while it's getting connected, let me just show you one more thing, that which image did I select, okay, when I was provisioning this VM. So I went to this VM, okay, sorry, I go to add virtual machines, and all right, I choose a resource group, and the most important part here, I choose browse all public and private images and choose Windows 10. And I have selected Windows 10 Enterprise Multi-Session version 2004 plus Microsoft 365 app. So this image adds not only Windows 10 plus Microsoft 365 apps, or aka Office 365 apps. In addition to these apps, of course, as I mentioned to you, I have already installed some additional apps. So let's connect this VM. Somehow it is giving me Let me just see. Is it the NS? Okay, let's see. All right. So I log into this VM, and as I said, just to make sure that it's all visible to you in the area. All right. Okay. Um, as I said, Microsoft 365 applications are already there. I have installed some additional apps. First of all, I updated the browser to Edge Chromium or new version of Microsoft Edge. It's very good. You should try it. And I have installed some other apps like Foxit Reader, VLC Media Player, 7-Zip, etc. Okay. There are few other tuning, the few other things you can do to fine tune this VM or to optimize this VM in other hand. One of them is this article. I will mention this link in description where prepare and customize master VHD image. And you can start off from here. For example, for if you want to set up profile container for FX logic, you can set up according to this article how to configure Windows Defender or disable automatic updates, for example. Let me see if I can copy this and execute it here. So I have disabled Windows Update, for example. All right. So there are many other things to specify the startup layout for Windows 10 PC and set up time zone redirection, disable storage sense, some further optimization and customization based on several settings. So check out this article. And I don't want to do much here because here I'm just demonstrating the feature and um, it's not production, but in production environment, I definitely like to do few things, set up time zones, and disable a few things. And on top of that, this is a session host, so I would like to optimize few things related to remote desktop as well. Okay. Um, Check out this article, and I will mention the link in the description. So once I do this, okay, now it's time to create an image. And those of you who knows, of course, first I will shut down this VM. But do you know if we shut down VM this way, it does get the IP did not get deallocated, right? So you still get charged for it. So let me just show you real quick here. Right? So I will do this and say stop and yes. And let's wait for it to stop. Make sure you also do that. Make sure it shows stop deallocated. If you just shut down and you think that the VM is shut down, no, it doesn't, and you still get charged, right? So make sure about this. While it's deallocating, let me try to recall if there is any other thing I would like to share. in this regard. Mm, I mentioned article, I mentioned which image did I use to provision this VM. Yeah, one more thing. One more thing I would like to show. See, now it stopped deallocated. One more thing. If you notice, there is no capture option here, right? And because my disks are not managed, if I have managed disks, I can create image of this VM, just by using the capture button, but we don't have a capture button here because I'm using unmanaged disks. So first thing first, what I will need to do before I convert this to VM, this VM to, before I prepare this VM to be used as an image, and of course, you know what I will do, right? I will run sysprep on it. But before I do that, I run sysprep so that all this unique information get stripped, right? I would like to take a snapshot of this VM. And if you are talking about a snapshot like this snapshot features works also for managed disks, right? So how to create a snapshot for unmanaged disk like this one? So as I mentioned to you, I'm saving or storing this VM disk in this storage account. So I'll go to containers, vhdays, select this and say create snapshot. All right. So if I say view snapshot, this is the snapshot that's just been created. Okay. And the reason I create this snapshot is, of course, right? If I want to revert it back, because one thing I noticed that if I run sysprep, right, and even after that, if I start this VM, I won't be able to RDP into it. So that's why before running sysprep, I like to create a snapshot. So in this case, if I need to use this VM again to recustomize it, let's say an example. Let's take an example. I added some third-party applications here, but let's say now another business requirement is to have Adobe Photoshop, for example. So in this case, I can reuse this VM and use Adobe Photoshop, install Adobe Photoshop, right? So what I will do, I will revert the snapshot, log into VM again, install Adobe Photoshop, shut it down, proper shut it down, remember, deallocate it, take another snapshot, and then convert, or then again start this VM and run sysprep. Okay, so that's the idea of taking snapshots. So as I have taken a snapshot, so now I would like to go to VM again and start it. So VM is starting. Okay, so VM is up and running and I logged into it. So what I would like to do, of course, sysprep. Oh, sorry about that. Sysprep. Oh, extremely sorry. Sysprep. And here's the sysprep, right? So run as administrator, and this time we want out-of-the-box experience with generalize. Means it will strip all the unique information like SID and IPs and all. And as I mentioned, this VM is not, remember, this VM is not a part of my domain. It's not a part of my Active Directory domain services. Also, I don't have a VDI or Windows Virtual Desktop agent installed on it, okay? Shutdown option is shutdown and say generalize. So sysprep is working its magic. It will strip this VM from SID and all and that, and after that it will shut it down. So I will pause this video until this is done, and then what we will do, yes, we will provision session host, Windows Virtual Desktop session host based on this VM. So let's wait for it to finish. Okay, my RDP session has just ended, and we'll go to this VM, and it means this VM, it's the process of shutting down or shut down. But as I said, it was a system level shutdown, stopped, as you can see, but not deallocated. So what should we do? Select stop. Yes. As you can see, it's deallocating. So very important. Don't just go for a stop because you get charged. And on top of that, if you VM have a public IP, that public IP don't get released, and you get charged for it, right? So deallocating, stop deallocated, right? Perfect. And we got confirmation from here. Lovely. What next? The next is we go to Windows Virtual Desktop, create a host pool, and I would like this to be all in this resource group host pool name, IT sense, location for metadata is fine, East US, host pool type, pooled, maximum number 2, breadth first is fine, next VM, I would like to add VMs, and Australia East, I would like to go for number of VM1, prefix ITC. It will be the prefix for my host. And instead of gallery, this time I'll say storage blob, and then I will get the image URI. From where get the image URI? Well, mm, I'll go to virtual machine, disks, click on a disk, and this is the VHD URI. Okay, so I copy it and paste it over here. My VM was created on premium, but I don't want my session host to use premium SSD. Standard is fine with me. Here I would like to use managed disks because managed disk, trust me, much easier, better throughput, better manageability, better fault tolerance. Check, right? So, yep, VNet infra, subnet infra, it's fine. I don't want public IP address for my um, session host and session hosts, but as I'm provisioning just one VM, so that's why the session host. So specify domain, yes, of course, and domain is my ADDS, which is Active Directory Domain Services, is itsense.net, and adadmin at itsense.net, and password, I hope it is the password. Sorry. You know what? Um, I just hate myself in the sense I totally forgot what's the password. So anyway, let's go to Azure Active Directory and just quickly I will reset this guy password. Or as a matter of fact, you know what I'll do? So I don't have to log in and change the password. I'll go to portal.office.com and change from here. Users, active users, admin, reset password. Close, and we go back here. Okay, next. Yes, I would like to register it with ITSense Workspace. Next, no tagging. Let's see, validation passed and create. So now we will wait for this host pool to be created, which will have one session host, and that session host will allow 2 consecutive logins. So what I will do, I will pause this video and I will be back when it's done. Okay guys, so deployment is complete finally, and we can go to resource. And this is our host pool. And this is the session host we can see, right? And these are some of the properties. Drain mode, if you want to stop allowing all new um, connections, log off all users, right? In case if there are users connected. Simple stuff, right? So let's go to our application groups. And this is the default application group or DAG, which includes default desktops. So currently it has 0 assignments, which we can do it from here as well. Like every VDI solution, like Horizon View or Citrix Zen Desktop, right? You need to entitle users or groups or or assign user in groups desktops so that they can use them. So I will say add, and I will assign it to AD admin as well as to user one. Okay. Okay, so these are the assignments. Say this is an application name session desktop. We can change and we can say IT Sense desktops, save. Okay,